Chapter 2. Happiness is a Problem. The Story of the Prince. Once upon a time, there was a prince who lived in a fancy palace with his dad, the king. The prince had everything he could ever want, like delicious food, fancy clothes, and servants to do whatever he asked. But even with all these luxuries, the prince felt unhappy and frustrated. One night, the prince decided to sneak out of the palace to see what life was like outside its walls. He went to a nearby village and saw people who were sick, poor, and suffering. This was the first time the prince had ever seen such sadness and hardship. Feeling overwhelmed by what he saw, the prince ran away from his palace life and chose to live as a beggar on the streets. He thought that by experiencing suffering himself, he would find some deeper meaning or happiness. But as the years passed, the prince realized that living as a beggar didn't bring him the fulfillment he was looking for. He suffered through hunger, loneliness, and pain, but it didn't make his life any better. He learned that suffering alone wasn't enough to make him happy or enlightened. In the end, the prince realized that true happiness doesn't come from avoiding suffering or seeking it out deliberately. Instead, it comes from something else, something he hadn't yet discovered. And so, he set out on a journey to find what that something else might be. Happiness as a byproduct of problem solving. Imagine happiness as a little bonus prize that you get when you solve problems. It's like finding a golden coin at the end of a challenging maze. The author compares this idea to a character called Disappointment Panda, who tells people uncomfortable truths they need to hear. It's like having a friend who isn't afraid to tell you when you're doing something wrong. Just like how our body feels pain to warn us when something is wrong, emotional pain signals that something isn't quite right in our lives. It's like an alarm bell telling us to pay attention and figure out what's going on. Instead of ignoring this emotional pain, the author suggests facing it head-on and dealing with the underlying issues causing it. So, the key idea here is that happiness isn't something you chase after directly. It's more like a side effect of tackling the problems and challenges life throws your way. Just as fixing a broken toy can make you happy, solving the problems in your life can lead to genuine happiness and personal growth. The role of pain and discomfort. Think of pain like a teacher. It's there to tell us when something is not quite right. Just like how a sore throat tells us we might be getting sick, emotional pain signals that something in our life needs fixing. The author suggests that constantly seeking pleasure and avoiding pain might seem like the easy route to happiness, but it's not sustainable. It's like trying to avoid studying for a test by watching TV instead. Sure, it feels good in the moment, but it won't help you succeed in the long run. Instead, the author encourages us to embrace discomfort and face life's challenges head-on. It's like going to the gym. Lifting heavy weights might be tough at first, but it's how you get stronger. Similarly, dealing with difficult emotions and situations can lead to personal growth and a deeper sense of fulfillment in the end. The illusion of constant happiness. Imagine if life were like a never-ending vacation, where everything is perfect all the time. Sounds pretty great, right? Well, the author suggests that this idea of constant happiness is just an illusion. Think about it. Even the best vacations eventually come to an end, and we have to go back to our normal lives. In the same way, pleasure and happiness are temporary. They don't last forever. The author challenges the idea that we should always be striving for happiness by avoiding problems or seeking pleasure at all costs. Instead, they suggest that true happiness comes from accepting that problems are a natural part of life. It's like knowing that rainy days are inevitable, but finding joy in jumping in puddles and wearing colorful rain boots. Similarly, when we accept that problems will come and go, we can focus on finding fulfillment in the process of solving them, rather than chasing after an elusive idea of constant happiness. Choosing your struggles. Imagine life as a journey filled with different paths and obstacles. The author suggests that who we become is shaped by the challenges we choose to face along the way. Instead of trying to avoid difficulties, The author encourages us to embrace the struggles that resonate with our deepest values and aspirations. It's like picking the adventure that feels most meaningful to us, even if it comes with its fair share of bumps and hurdles. Happiness, the author argues, isn't about living a problem-free life. Instead, it's about actively pursuing goals that matter to us and being willing to tackle the obstacles that arise along the journey. Think of it like climbing a mountain. The satisfaction comes not from reaching the top effortlessly, but from the effort and determination it took to overcome each obstacle along the way. In the same way, true happiness is found in the process of striving towards something meaningful, even when it's challenging. Overall, Chapter 2 emphasizes the importance of embracing discomfort, facing harsh truths, and actively engaging with life's challenges in order to find true happiness and fulfillment. It challenges the notion that happiness is a passive state to be attained, and instead presents it as an ongoing process of problem-solving and personal growth. Let's break it down with some real-world examples. Embracing discomfort. Think about someone who wants to get in better shape. They may initially feel uncomfortable going to the gym, dealing with sore muscles, or adjusting their diet. However, by embracing this discomfort and pushing through it, facing harsh truths. Consider a person who's unhappy in their job, but is hesitant to make a change due to fear of the unknown. By facing the harsh truth that their current job isn't fulfilling, they can take proactive steps to explore new career opportunities or further their education, ultimately leading to a more satisfying and fulfilling career path. Actively engaging with challenges. Imagine someone who struggles with social anxiety but decides to confront their fears by attending social events or seeking therapy. By actively engaging with the challenge of overcoming their anxiety, they can gradually build confidence and develop stronger social connections, leading to greater happiness and fulfillment in their personal life. In each of these examples, happiness isn't achieved passively or effortlessly. Instead, it requires individuals to confront discomfort, acknowledge harsh truths, and actively engage with challenges in order to grow and ultimately find true fulfillment in their lives.